The adult beverages are poured. The kids are asleep. Welcome to New Dad Gaming, a show about fatherhood, gaming, and new fathers figuring out their gaming lives. My name is Trevor, and I have a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old.
And I'm Jeff. I have an 8-year-old and a 5-year-old.
So massive news this week. Massive news. So Google unveiled Stadia, their full-on streaming platform. To much furor inside of the industry. Yeah. Everybody was talking about it. Halo is going to release for PC, the entire suite.
It's nuts, yep.
Every single Halo game releases for PC. People are going nuts about it. But what are we going to talk about first? The new dads just yesterday became Apex Legend champions.
We need a crowd. We need a crowd of sound effects.
I cannot believe it. Like two or three episodes we talked about.
Yeah.
Do we have to pay a coach to possibly get us to the end? And then on a whim, it's like, hey, do you want to play a little Apex?
Yeah.
That was the first time for you in what, weeks?
Oh, weeks. Easily weeks. And I'm like, I even said it before. I'm like, I haven't played in a while, so I can't remember the buttons.
Yeah, we are stumbling. Like, we're having fun. And I think,
yeah.
One of my favorite things you said, and in fact, if you could elaborate on it a bit, is that it feels like you have a chance when you're playing this game.
Yeah, it really does. Like when you're in there, it doesn't seem like everything. There's the community's quite different than Fortnite, because Fortnite I would go in and it would just you immediately die. You wouldn't last 5 minutes, and this game it feels like you have a shot. Like at least we could put up a fight.
Yeah, like you're going to die at the hands of talented players, but there's enough things in the mix that you could maybe get the drop. Maybe you have the better weapon and you can get some kills. It feels possible.
It does.
Where Fortnite really felt we're totally out of our element. It might be our training, like our upbringing on kind of classic FPSs.
I think so too, and possibly the third man in our squad that was.
Okay, so I wanted to go through it because I found it so fascinating because by all accounts we had a couple games to begin with and having fun, not doing great, right? But enjoying ourselves, we're laughing. And then we bump into this game and geez, it feels like it should be like a war documentary. War never changes. I dropped down and 2 tangos were immediately to the right.
Oh, you do this too well. Yeah, this is exactly how it happened.
Oh, so anyways, we dropped down and we're with this other guy. He's like me and Jeff are like level 5s, level 6s. Nothing. We have like 10 combined kills ever. We get matched with this guy. He's got something to the effect of like 80 kills. He looks pretty legit.
Yeah.
So we drop down and he just bolts. Like
he knows where he's going. I have no clue.
He just sidelines. So everybody knows you drop down in pairs of 3, you stick together, but you can choose to go by yourself. He did. He went way off. So me and Jeff are staring at each other like, well, it looks like it's just you and me, chum. And we land, and even worse is that we since this is the expert, we gave him control of the drop.
Oh yeah.
So he gets to choose, and he takes us right into the hot zone. Right. Where we don't stand a chance. So we land, and now there's 4 other teams. So me and Jeff are just completely separated. I'm running down a tunnel, cowering because I'm almost dead. I managed to get a little bit of health. I managed to get a gun, but I'm then just accosted by 6 other people, shot dead immediately.
Right.
Just ruined. So dead in the tunnel. I don't know where our champion guy flew off to.
He left.
And from my ears, it sounded like Jeff was dead. But to my surprise, you were not. What happened when you landed?
No, I tried to follow our hero that was left us. But I gave up, and I kind of circled around. I don't know where you went. I lost track of you, and I was seeing your gamer tag in a building somewhere. So I'm like, oh, okay, well, he's gathering stuff. And then I turn around, and all of a sudden I hear his gunfire, and you're like, well, I'm dead. I'm like, all right, well, I gotta go save you, because I'm not going to do this all by myself with the other guy here that I don't know. So I'm going to go back to you. And I think you kind of said, no, just go.
Yeah, go stick with the hero. Leave me behind.
Yeah, but no, I couldn't do that, fellow dad is down. I had to go back. Lots of gunfire. then they kind of left, and I kind of snuck behind them, and they just went through forward, probably finding our other teammate. And then I was trying to figure out how to grab your banner, what I had to do. I think you talked me through that, because again, been ages since I've played this, so I eventually got
our poor teammate, because like
banner.
It's like, so how do I? Okay, how do I pick you up? Is it the square? Do I press?
Yeah,
circle?
I had no clue. If he could hear us, it would be hilarious. He'd be like, "Oh my god, why I just drop out now?"
He's like, "We're dead."
Yeah.
So he's still, at this point, he's still way off somewhere.
Oh,
you pick me up, and now the question you're asking, how do I revive you?
Exactly.
And
I'm
Apex,
looking at my map.
Yeah, in Apex there's two states. Like, so first you're knocked down and you're kind of crawling around, someone can revive you, or you're dead. And I was dead.
Yeah,
but
you were dead.
But you can grab kind of like their tag or their like essence,
Life
whatever you want to call it. Life force, sure. And then take it to a revive point, like very specific little beacons. And you did it. And so so I'm guiding you how to get there, but the second you land there, you are hit with that ultimate that are just missiles from the sky.
Just airdrop of death. And I don't know, I was hopping around and somehow I survived with my life. I was like, nope, still alive.
So when I landed, so the last thing I saw was just your health like skyrocketing to 0. and missiles falling all around. So I'm revived, I'm falling from the sky again. I'm like, well, I'm gonna have to go and save Jeff.
Right.
But then I land and I see like there's just this little sliver of life you got left. You somehow survived.
Skin of my teeth. I don't know. It was I don't know how that happened, but yeah, I was like, no, I got it. I'm good. And then I healed myself, so it was good.
So here we're at. The two new dads have survived so far.
Yeah, ultimate death.
And we sprint about, and actually we find a couple of drops, and now we have some guns. So we survived. We got a little bit loaded, and lo and behold, our hero is still alive, and he's like blasted all in the head. So we see now we're coming up on him, and we see he's in a full-on firefight. Right? So he is right in the thick of it. He goes down, dead. Right?
Yeah,
so the dead. So he's not even revivable. So that dies down. We give it a second. We sneak in and grab his tag. So now the new dads have our hero's dead tag. so for the second
now.
Yeah, exactly. So we are sprinting, and found another revive point. Revive the hero. Bam! He is back with us now. Right?
Yep.
So man, actually, I think at this point it's fairly close to the end, because it seemed to be like a pretty fast.
No. Yeah, no, it was kind of like.
Go on.
No, the ring was closing. I remember the ring was closing. You were running back with his tag or his life force. We revive him, and then we're all of a sudden in this circle of death that's near the last stage, and we're running after that guy, trying to get higher ground and a position, and it's all kind of quiet too. Like, where is everybody? Eerie. So
at this point, we were at this point, like, despite for all of that time, like some decent time must have elapsed, because we were like the part of the last 4 squads at this point.
Yeah,
there's not a lot of people left. So there's nothing around us though. So I give our hero my best gun. He's going to be able to do a lot more with it than I possibly can.
Yeah.
So
here you go.
You take it. You do something. And then so we're real close to like the last zone. So we're sprinting around, we're jumping around, we're trying to just load up for like the coming storm, because as Jeff said, it is eerily quiet. There's nobody, there's no firing, just this like silence. We're like, man, we're actually pretty close to the end, and just, like,
I was happy
here.
I was happy. We were in the top 5 or whatever. I'm like, this is it. This is our day.
So finally, I think, like, to our credit, I honestly think we did pretty good towards the end. Like, as far as like, we got some damage in. I don't think either of us got any kills. But we got the revive, and we definitely got damage in.
Yep.
And we were certainly supporting our guy. So we're pinging off these people. He's just mowing through people, which is amazing.
He's Rambo out there.
So we managed to take out one squad all together. We're taking out one squad, and then the ring closes in, and us and another group are running. So now they're taking pot shots at us. I'm almost dead. Again, like, I'm right down to nothing. We've managed to... So this is the last group. This is like the last like 2 to 3 guys.
Yeah.
They've just pinged me and Jeff for a bunch of damage.
Yeah.
So we run our. So you and I go and cower in a building, and throw in like a healing beacon.
Don't tell us your secret. Yeah.
Tactical retreat.
Yeah, that's right. We were just
So our guy goes running up over there. Last like 2 guys, we're healing up so we can join the fray, and then all of a sudden, ka-ching, champions! Like you did it.
Like yay! This is amazing.
Like like we'll have to see the audio. I grabbed the video clip. I don't know if it catches the audio. I hope it does because it's just you and I like in euphoria. Like what? Oh my god, we did it! We're champions.
Yeah.
And there's a shot.
So
like
good.
there's the 3 of our characters. There's our names. Yeah. Apex champions. I never thought we'd actually pull that off.
So many screenshots. I'm going to frame that, put it on the wall, and say, "Listen, kids, this day your dad was a champion."
It feels like obviously like we weren't part of the last push because we again I'll feel confident that we contributed. We definitely were not the deciding factor, but there was we were there. We made some damage. But man, again, like you said, it's just like you have a chance. Like there's just anything can kind of happen, and it is kind of classic FPS in that way where you can get the drop and get the win.
Yeah. No, it was good. It's a good time, man, and it was the whole experience was fun. Even just not just the winning, but just playing those matches before where we just died in like 5-10 minutes. It was nothing but having laughs and whatever, having a good time. Yeah,
doing it with you. You mentioned it, and I'll agree. Doing it with somebody is definitely makes it so much better.
Yeah.
So sure. dads pair up and see if you can get your own victories. Share it with us.
Dad squad.
But Dad squad. Now, for speaking of classic FPSs,
yes,
Halo is announced for the entire suite of Halo games. Everyone they've ever released, they're going to do a stagnated release, but release it on PC. So no longer Xbox exclusive. You're going to be able to play the entire catalog of Halo games, starting with Halo Reach, I believe, is the first one they release.
That's crazy.
It's stunning. Like that's amazing that they would release that. That's so like the thought that we can get into some classic Halo or Halo 2 matches. Yeah, like just 4v4. Like depending on how they do the online player and if it's like friendly, if it's as friendly not as in like the battle, but friendly as in it's easy to just hop into a game or set up games with people. Like so many of the images I saw online were that feeling when you can contact your old Halo squad. Like
yeah. Yeah.
Because
that's a big announcement, and it's even bigger saying that it's not just the Windows Store either. It's coming to Steam, which is insane to me. So all those friends lists can be easily accessed, and you can hop right in, and that seems like a good fit for, again, their flagship guy is going in and just like their whole catalog is available to people. That's amazing. That's the start of something.
Yeah, remastered too. If you think of some of those older ones, like to see the original Halo, Halo 2, any of the first 3, see it on like beyond modern consoles. Like obviously you get some of those crazy PC rigs.
Yeah.
Like those things are going to look ridiculous. Like that's going to be an amazing thing. It's positive. I just don't know what to say. Like it's just it was such a cornerstone of our gaming experience when we were growing up. And even if you weren't like deep in the Halo lore, you at least knew Halo as this incredible shooter. Yeah. Right? Like how many Gaming Dead victories have we featured where it's like, going back to a little bit of Halo.
Right?
So the thought that we can bring like Blood Gulch. You and your kids can play Blood Gulch on PC without dragging out the old Xbox. Like it's
lugging it out. Yeah, no, it's gonna be a good time. I think a lot of people are gonna have some fun with it, and I'm wondering if they could even just do like a whole modding scene with it too. So, be interesting to see some things happen. I don't know.
I'd be kind of curious too. If I wonder if they'd pull back or they try to enter the competitive gaming scene.
Oh yeah.
Because I don't remember if you remember back in the day, like that was my first introduction to competitive gaming, where it was Halo. I know that wasn't the first one, but like on G4 TV back in the day.
Yeah.
They used to feature. They actually had a show where it's just like for an hour they would show some like Halo matches, professional Halo matches, and there were teams or guys doing it full time, and that was the first time I'd ever seen it. Like you kind of wonder if they can use that nostalgia fuel long enough to start a competitive scene. Do you think there's room for another one?
I think there's an audience for it. Yeah, why not give it a shot? Everyone seems to be kind of digging out their piece of the pie. Even Apex is probably going to go that route too. So I can see Halo doing that, starting that up, and just having that community that's very, like, they want this to happen. So you have those people there ready, and then you bring in the newcomers that, you pay off, Ninja to play your Halo for a bit. And you have your audience, that newer audience back in. Whether or not the nostalgic people want that audience, I don't know.
How would you feel about a statement like this, where I think it's almost Halo feels to me like it'd be a game almost of more skill than math, in so much as saying like so something like Overwatch, when you have, which maybe even makes it more interesting to watch from a professional league. I can't really speak to that, but when you're thinking about with Overwatch, like, you have to very tactfully choose who you're going to be, right? Because this ultimate matches with this ultimate, and this guy counters this guy. Like Halo, you're just all Master Chiefs, and there's a bunch of guns.
Yes,
and some guns are better, of course, but otherwise it's just be better than the other person. Like, I wonder if that's a detractor for it being a professional game, or almost a boon. Like, it'd be kind of nice to just say who is the best at shooty Master Chief.
Yeah, like, I mean, and Quake's done it for a bit too. So going back to those days where even the game mechanics were a little bit glitchy, and you could do like a rocket jump and stuff like that you could figure out how to do. I'm down for that. I think a little less. You mentioned Overwatch, and I can never understand the amount of visuals on screen and how you can read that all at once. So going back to like the simpler times back in the day.
The simpler time.
I think it would be kind of good. I think it'd be almost fresh at this point. Just something, just what the baseline was. This is what gaming was before the scene.
I could see them riding nostalgia. I think you could see them riding that skill level.
Yeah.
Because there's no counter. Like, you just have to be better with the rifle than the other guy.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's gonna be fun to watch, but it's just fun to watch on top of what is an awesome story. I think any new dads listening to this will agree that this is great news.
Absolutely.
Although, depends on pricing. If it's $80 per.
Let's not go into that. Yeah, let's just live our lives thinking it's going to be one price for all of them. It's like a season pass. You get like just a new game every 6 months.
According to the Reddit, there was an AMA. It's positive. Okay. It's an AMA. It's like so you can buy it one by one, or there will be kind of a purchase everything up front and just receive it as it's released.
Okay.
Pricing. That's all they said. Now, if they have the audacity to price each one at $60 to $80.
$60. Wow.
That's a lot of Halo to purchase.
I don't think you could do that in today's market, just with everything that's out there now, and then charging a premium price on that, even if it's a remaster.
At least say it's a full story. Like, at least it is like a full. Each one is absolutely a full. Single player game.
Yeah.
Unlike, if Apex was trying to charge you, they'd be a little.
No, you wouldn't be able to do that. Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what. How the dad gamers get together out there.
Yeah, that is a perfect way to say it as far as dads getting together, because it features nicely into our story this week for Gaming Dad Victory of the Week. So each week we feature an exceptional gaming dad, and often their kids who are doing fatherhood and gaming so well. This week's victory goes to gaming dad Alphabet Soap, who doubled down on the enjoyment his son and himself got out of Destiny 2. So Jeff, why don't you walk us through the photo?
So in this photo, we have a pair of couch cushions, a pair of Xbox controllers, a pair of TVs, and a pair of Xboxes playing Destiny, which is awesome. This is a great setup. It looks like his dad and his son side by side playing some co-op, literally couch co-op on a couch. It's perfect. This is my dream right now. If this could happen, I would do this. This is perfect.
Man, it's just like, my God. Like, I'm trying to imagine my gaming youth, and
don't go back there. Yeah,
it was nothing but school. Can you imagine like being able to share something like that with your dad, where it's you love gaming, he's passionate about gaming, and you have this dual setup where you're both able to play like this. Like, this is just the ultimate. That's amazing.
Yeah. It's a great bonding area, right? Like, you're there sharing experiences, saying, cover me, I'm going in. Well, and you're right there experiencing it together. That's something, man. That's what we're missing.
Yeah, you're sneaking in some life lessons. You know, much.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, as you're going down the highway of life, much like this interdimensional travel. Oh, but the potential. I've seen setups like this often for like couples. So
yes,
whatever makeup of couple has the two systems and they're able to play at the same time. That's great. But like the father and son, like being able to play with your kid like this, bring them into your hobby, like have that kind of shared bonding time. So it's just the coolest little space, like coolest little dock to like just like launch into and just have an amazing time. Man, I'm jealous.
Yeah, no, they'll make a lot of memories there. I think this kid will remember this for a while when he's growing up and think back, be like, yeah, my dad and I, we gamed together. No, not on the same screen, on our own screens.
No, we don't do it like that.
Yeah, no, you had the full width of that screen. So yeah, it's a good kudos to him.
It's that and inspiration, because man, if we can ever set this up with our own kids, like that is just so exciting. That is the coolest thing ever. So man, absolute kudos, and certainly deserving of the victory. So for answering the call when two men needed setups for Destiny 2, Alphabet Soap wins this week's Gaming Dad Victory of the Week. If you'd like to be nominated or know somebody else deserving, please reach out to us at our website, newdadgaming.com, or our Facebook group or Instagram. Now, the other massive announcement, besides us winning Apex Legends Champions, and the Halo series being announced for PC, is Google came out and unveiled their streaming gaming platform. And not with some minute kind of indie titles, not kind of like this it was a full... full example, like a full... I was about to say launch, but that's not the way to say it. Like a full announcement of exactly how the system would work. Assassin's Creed Odyssey... not Odyssey. What's the latest one?
It's Odyssey. It's Odyssey.
It is Odyssey. Okay.
Yep.
Good for me. The problem is, like, I was thinking Mario Odyssey, and I'm like, uh-oh.
Yeah, I know.
I've got the two together.
That's not Mario.
Yeah. So Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Doom, the new Doom franchise has... come out stating that it's going to support this as well. So these are not small games. This is not a half effort. This seems to be a real, honest to God, like effort. Like it's interesting. Like it's kind of hard to comprehend from our standpoint, because the way I was thinking of it is, if one of you, or if we go back and think about renting movies. Or going to the movie theater, right? Like you had to go to it. And that was just that physical exertion, that going to the store and getting the physical media. That was our experience with movies. Always was. Compared to today with Netflix. Right?
Yes.
And you think you're trying to go back to your old self, and you're trying to explain, okay, well, you do not go to stores anymore. You pay a fee every month. And then you can just watch as many as you like.
Yeah.
And how you would perceive that. And so, I'm trying to, I don't know how you're taking it, but I'm just trying my best to decouple my current, my current understanding of how games work with what this could be.
Yeah. And I see where you're going with it, because a lot of this announcement, a lot of people in the industry are like, nope, can't work. Like immediately just poo-pooed the idea, like this is not for me, it's streaming games, it's never gonna happen. And what they showed on their announcement was actually going back to what you were saying with I used to go to Blockbuster to get my movies, and sometimes you'd show up and the movie wasn't there, so then you'd have to pick your second movie, and then nothing was in, and now Netflix takes care of all of that. So if this is the quote-unquote Netflix of gaming, again, they haven't really worked out the pricing or how the subscription part of it would work. But if I can play these games in any Chrome browser, like anywhere, that is a big achievement. And what I saw there was very little lag, and they kind of go on that there's almost no discernible lag. Like I don't think you're going to play a Twitch shooter online. Maybe that would have some issues, or maybe not. But what they're pushing with this is something that is accessible to a lot more people at once, with not having to deal with any sort of hardware. I think for parents who don't know what an Xbox versus an Xbox One versus an old Xbox One is, like, it makes this a lot simpler. Maybe it's just a matter of buying the game or buying their subscription for a couple months, and then, you know, the kid's off to camp or college, and you stop the subscription and then pick it up. Like, I can see cost savings. I can see just a lot of opportunities. This is all based on that it works. But it's a really cool concept, and I think this is where we're going. It's just a matter of, like, Google did it, which is odd to me. I thought Microsoft would be the one, and maybe they still are, but Google put their first foot forward kind of thing.
Yeah. For me, it almost makes more sense because they don't have any hardware to have to protect, right? They don't have a hardware division where they're going to try to. It's like, well, we don't want to eat our lunch here. We don't want to, like, not be selling these things. So
right.
But yeah, I think the subscription thing, I almost have to assume it's subscription, because if you're just purchasing the game, and it's a bad assumption is not the right word. It's more hope for something like this is going to work. Because if it's just you purchase the game and then you can stream it to wherever you are, okay. The more interesting one is if it does become the Netflix, because how often on the show, as gaming dads, have we talked about, this game looks great, I'm not dropping $80 on it, like I can't, or like this game looks great, $60. Like, yeah, there's limits to what I can do from even a time perspective, a money perspective. So if it was a subscription, we can kind of just like get in there and taste a bunch of them and then find like your flavor.
Right.
Okay, like we're talking.
Yeah, and that exists now with Xbox and Game Pass and stuff, right? So it's similar there, and I see a lot of good opportunities with, you know, saving some money, testing out some games. Where I have struggles, if it is a subscription going forward, I spent a lot of time on Witcher 3, like a lot of time. And my dad gaming time was limited, so if that game kind of like goes away from the library after 6 months, I am not going to be pleased, and then what do I do? So I think there's some things that they have to address. Again, they didn't really set up too much. It was kind of like a proof of concept almost, with this tech streaming at 4K, 60 frames, which is nuts to me. You better have just a good connection, which is another issue.
Your
I think
internet
for a
pipe
lot of
better
people.
be just like, you better lose a door. It's so your internet pipe is so thick.
Yeah. So, and up here in Canada, we have a lot of data caps still. So, you know, is that affecting it, or is it kind of like this magic voodoo that Google has put out with compression, and somehow it doesn't affect the end? I don't know. But again, I thought it was a pretty neat presentation, and how they got Doom involved and id Software, and a whole bunch of other companies they rhymed off, and even just some of the features where it's all kind of integrated into YouTube, and you can share save state links. So not just sending a URL of the game, but where you are in the game. You click on it and you're there. That to me is amazing. We could pass games back and forth. If you're stuck on something, I'm thinking kids away at college or something, you have that dad gaming moment, sending those links back and forth. That's a kind of a cool collaborative community you're building.
Yeah, that's a great thing to bring up, because that's more the interesting thing to me, because I think the idea of gaming, like, we've literally had companies trying to sell you streaming games before. Yeah. I think PlayStation even kind of has it with PlayStation Live or PS Live.
Now I think it's called
PS Now, right?
Yeah.
So that's not so imaginative. What is interesting is, like, I saw like the scenarios you mentioned as far as Google. They talked about where you could ask in game, you're stuck in a particular layer or something, and you could just ask in game, how do I solve this? And it's going to bring up videos, tutorials about exactly where you are and how to do it.
Right.
You could apparently ask somebody to take over your game. Hey, Jeff, like, buddy, I can't get this through this. Like, where do you find this thing? You take over my current game, zip me through it, then I take it back. Like, you can almost like tag team games that way, or it's just like, let's build up a character together and you're just bouncing it back and forth like that.
Yeah.
That extra layer of interactivity, like the mixing of the game with internet and real world, like, that's like wild. Man.
Yeah.
Just like the ultimate merger of old paper manuals and paper guides to games.
Oh, those days.
And all of a sudden now it's just like Yeah, hey Google, how do how do I beat this boss?
How do I do it? Hey Google, just beat the game for me, please. Thanks.
Or New Dad's kids, like, hey Google, what button? How do I bring up the menu? Which button?
Yeah,
please help.
No, it's a different way to approach it, and I'm glad they kind of went out of the box with it too. Like if they just launched with their own hardware, it would just be dead on arrival. There's no way that they would survive in just the competitive market that we're in right now. So something that's different than everything else that's kind of out there. And they even mentioned that they could do thousands of players in the same game at once. Like it wasn't a problem. It's all through their server end. So there's no hardware requirement or restriction there. It's all through their data centers, which to me is insane. Like that is just seems like a lot of resources on their end to get this thing to work. And I'm not sure where they're going with it. Like, do they need to turn a profit to keep this thing going, or do they just like shutter it with like one of their apps? So you're just like, oh, I guess that's it. Like,
yeah, their tenacity and their willingness to shut things down certainly is worrying. Much like you said with if you were trying to beat Witcher 3 and they just
can you imagine?
You're in the last couple hours and they just like, oh, sorry, we don't carry that title anymore. Like, no,
it's gone.
But man, like the thought that if you're in a hotel and somehow it has some crazy great Wi-Fi and you can just hook up your phone, and get into your full console game, continue exactly where you left off from, last week or something like that, like, and then I could bring you in to like help me with the boss, or I could like then search online for how to beat this particular thing. Sharing, like, what does streaming look like in this type of context, right? When it already is the internet, like it's already on. There is no like physical place you have to get it up into the cloud. Like it is the cloud.
It's there, yeah, already.
So where does streaming go from that? Like the interactivity between the audience and the streamers, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm holding a huge stream. Everybody's watching us win at Apex Legends, and we can like let fans come in and take over particular parts. Like, man, it's a lot of fascinating. I hope it's not this announcement, and then we'll be able to talk about this again in a year.
Right. Yeah.
Like I'd hate if they just kind of dangled this, because it's curious. Like where they go next is fascinating. It's just when you think things have kind of settled with games, like it's just it's all blown out the water.
Yeah. No, we'll see where it goes. They said it was launching this year, so we'll see by the end of the year what happens. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll be throwing our PS4s out the window.
That's right.
PS5 is dead on arrival. I got Chrome. Got a Chrome browser, baby.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And with that hopeful view of the future, I think we'll wrap it up for the week. Thank you so much, everybody, for listening. This has been New Dad Gaming. If you'd like to reach out to us with a question, a game tip, a dad story, or a gaming dad victory of the week, if you yourself, gaming dads, have become Apex champions, we'd love to feature some videos.
Yeah.
You can go to our website at newdadgaming.com. You can find us on Twitter, Facebook group, and also Instagram, where we're starting to be a lot more active. Would love to feature some new dad gaming stories. Yeah. If you'd like to subscribe to the podcast, you can find us on Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, all of the podcasting services. If you like the show, we would really appreciate a like, a review, and a subscription, a share, and more than anything, a share with other gaming dads, as we're trying to reach them, as many of them as possible, build up a little gaming dad Apex army.
That's right.
Next, maybe you, gaming dad, will be our hero to lead us into another victory. You never know.
You never know. It could be you.
It could be you that we drag down like so many anchors.
Just let me die.
It's just like, just leave me be. Till next week. My name is Trevor, and I have a 3-year-old, a 1-year-old, and 1 Apex Legends championship.
And I'm Jeff. I have an 8-year-old, a 5-year-old, and I'm right there with you with an Apex champion ring.
Jeff, they should send us a ring. We should get them crafted.
I think so.
Like a big, audacious, like NBA style one.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, did you used to play sports? No. I once won this online player.
Yeah.
Oh, how many kills you get? Not a single one.
No. Passive player.
See you next week.
See you later.